Twitch makes you do some dumb shit, turning it this way and that way. What up, gamers? I'm gonna show you fools how to make some chicken tortilla soup. Now this may look complicated because I got all this stuff out here, but it's actually really easy. And I'm gonna throw a little twist on it with some of these red chili peppers from Santa Fe that we got just for funsies. And in fact, I think I'm gonna put an extra one in there. Just gotta get one off of this. Oh, that's the winner. So, what I'm gonna do first, and what you always wanna do, is heat your oil with the pan. I wanna put the pan on hot and then put the oil in. Generally, I don't really cook with olive oil, but it looks fancy, so we're gonna do it. Be fine. Oops. So first thing I'm gonna do is take the tips off of these, or the asses, however you want to think about it. Oh, I forgot to have it over here. And get the seeds out. These peppers here. Because otherwise, I'm going to have a really spicy soup. And I mean, you can make it spicy, but that's not what I'm going for today. And if you do make it with these, you can get these at any store, probably. I find them at most major grocery stores these days. And you can make all sorts of things with them, sauces and soup bases. Really good. Gives it a nice, deep, earthy flavor. Some spice. This one didn't really have very many seeds, I guess. Took them all out from the beginning. Ooh. And don't let them touch chicken. I mean, all of this is going to get fully cooked, but... The other cool thing about tortilla soup, besides just being super easy, is it's very easy to make it completely vegan. So chances are in this day and age, you got some friend trying out a vegan diet or something, and they're gonna come over for dinner. And this is one of those easy go-to meals. You can have chips and salsa with it, make some guacamole. People are always surprised how good you can cook. Little do they know you barely did anything. Alright, so I'm just going to open these up so that they sit real nice in the oil. And we're just going to give them a quick heat up. Now, I've never been officially shown how to do any of this. I'm just kind of making it up, so if you got an opinion about how to do it better, you can let me know. Just get them kind of coated in that oil. I've got it on medium. You don't want to burn them, and they're easy to burn, so just pay attention to them. And after they get, generally what you're looking for is for them to puff up, but I ain't going to do that because I don't want the seeds in them. So once they start putting off a nice aroma, we'll put some water in it, let them boil a little bit and soften up, and then I'll put them in a blender, blend them up with some spices, some salt, some cumin, and they'll be an addition to the soup base. I heard that my camera is down. Oh, that's okay. I'm not gonna be in it. This isn't about me. This is about the spread. Alright? See, these fuckers are already burning. Don't let them get wily on you. Maybe put it on low heat. That's okay. Just add some flavor to it, you know? Alright. Then we want to get some water to throw on them. Totally unnecessary step, these peppers, okay? This is just for funsies. cover it, turn the heat down, just let them do their thing for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. I got it on the lowest it'll go. So next what I'm going to do is get this thing going. I'm going to put it on pretty low because I don't know how long it'll take me to really prep this chicken. It shouldn't take too long though. Same thing, put the oil in. Don't put the oil in. Pan's already hot. I mean, shit, everybody makes mistakes, but as a general rule. So ultimately this chicken, we're going to take it and shred it up. So what I'm going to do is just cut it in half. Easy. I'm gonna put it in this pot and let it cook a little bit just to kind of brown either side. And then later, after it's nice and soft, I'll take a fork and just shred it up in the pot. There's other ways to do this. Sometimes, one of my favorite ways really is to get a rotisserie chicken. It's already cooked, already seasoned. You just put that sucker in a bowl and pull all the meat off and then shred it right there. Easy. Really takes a lot out of it, out of the process. But this time, we didn't have a rotisserie chicken. We have chicken breasts. Something to keep in mind with chicken breast too is that it's white meat. This is lean, doesn't have any skin on it. So you really want to use a broth as an addition because otherwise it just doesn't really have a lot of flavor. My mama taught me this. You put a little water on your hand, check your oil. If it doesn't bubble and crack, then it's not ready. That should be doing their thing. So we'll get started on this onion. First we'll put the chicken in. Then we'll throw some onion and garlic in, the aromatics. Get those working. So what's going to end up in this is some fresh corn, some green onion, some bell pepper. I like to put red since a lot of this soup is sort of yellowy. You got chicken, you got corn. Just something to make the color pop a little more. Green. So anyways, got some lime, some cilantro, and those are going to go in as garnishes in the individual bowls. I find that if you cook the lime right into it, it's kind of funky, kind of bitter. Sometimes your onion has a really thin skin on the outer side. I don't really want that. It's just like a paper. It's gross. So check your onion. If it has that, peel it off. Looks okay. Woo! This thing is already putting tears in my eyes. Now again, the onion, how fine you chop it is just preference. If you're in a hurry, chop it big. Who cares? Maybe you want a lot of texture. Maybe you don't. This is going to cook for a while, so I'm not really worried about it being too fine of a chop. And I don't really want them to disappear either because besides the chicken and the corn, and I guess some bell pepper, you don't really have much to it otherwise if they melt down. Woo! I'm not a professionally trained chef, so forgive me for my poor chopping skills. Woo-wee. Fresh garlic. Oops. Must have. Okay, it's not a must have. You can use powdered garlic or something, but it doesn't taste as good. It's all kind of hacks to peeling your garlic if you really hate it. I find that the best way is to just sort of crush it or twist it. You can crush it with a knife, but cut yourself if you're not very careful. Let me sort of open. Woo! God dang. That onion is fresh. If it ain't making your eyes and nose water, then it ain't a fucking fresh onion. Alright. This recipe just calls for a couple of cloves, and I found a little one, so I'm going to throw that in there too. Alright. Bet that oil is ready. Alright, there we go. So, I'm going to get that chicken in there. Make sure they're not sitting on top of each other and stuff. You want each of them to have a nice surface area to brown. I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit because it's not really spitting the way it should be. Give it some salt. You don't want to over salt in the beginning. Taste it as you go along. What a lot of people, for some reason, forget to do. You taste your food as you go along. You're unlikely to make it taste bad. Alright, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Here's another helpful tip for you folks. You always want to put the garlic in after the onions have started to go translucent. Because otherwise this shit'll burn so freaking fast you won't even get to cook these. Then you're all rushing around trying to make up for your mistake. Not ready yet. Off-white. Also, if you find that your meat is always sticking and you're turning it over and you know your brown side is just sticking to the bottom of the pan, it ain't ready yet. Don't fuck with it. Once it's ready, it'll sort of detach itself and come up really easy and still be all together. So, and you know, if you're just going to sweat your onions for a recipe, it's safe to go ahead and put the garlic in. But if you're kind of sauteing them, putting a little brown on them or something, hold off on the garlic. Got ready. Start moving this along. I like to crush it. I don't know that it's necessary, but it's satisfying. Not matters. If you're making an Indian dish or something, you got one of these garlic crushers. These things are great for making it really fine, and it'll just disappear in the pot if you need it to do that for like a creamy sauce or something, but I don't really need that for this kind of dish. Just mince it. Hopefully the dog won't eat that. Alright. I think I've got a little dish around here somewhere I can put that in. Oops. Alright. My hands are going to smell like garlic for the next 3 days. But that's sexy. That's in vogue. Alright, let's see what we got going on over here. That's looking pretty good. But it's not quite where I want it yet. Looking good. And you're not having to worry about cooking it all the way through. We're just browning it. It'll cook through as it sits in the soup. Alright. Remember to rinse your vegetables with the cancer-causing glyphosate. That's probably on your produce. Unless you're a bigwig streamer, you probably ain't buying no organic shit yet. You're just getting the cheap stuff. Let me tell you, these ain't cheap. I don't know why. They barely have any flavor. But they ain't. Now, I know none of you are unfamiliar with this, but this, friends, was a bell pepper. Still is. Alright. Woo! Those onions. Shit. Snip. You could do jalapenos. Probably better as a garnish, though. I don't know, just depends. I'm just doing like, I don't know what this would be, half-inch piece. Something easy to put in the mouth, but still has something to chew on. One. Get all of our little friends together here. Check and see what our chicken's doing. Perfect. Flip it over. Once that starts to brown, we'll put in the onions. After that, the garlic. Now you may be wondering what seasonings go into chicken tortilla soup. And thing is, it's really mostly just cumin. Everything else is a whole food. I am going to be using diced tomatoes, green chilies canned. You can use Rotel. This is Hatch. I get fooled. I think it's Hatch green chilies, but I don't know that it really is. But this shit's good. It really adds a good flavor to it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Hey, tall boy. Can you come get me down that little blender? I'm going to use a bullet blender to grind up our peppers and stuff. Add an extra tomato. I'm going to throw that in. Thank you, good sir. Lovely. Guess I could have used the other one, huh? So the recipe I was looking at called for 3 tablespoons of cumin. Again, I usually like to put it in and taste it, but we're gonna just start off doing 3 tablespoons because that sounds about right with everything else I'm putting in here. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna do 2. I like to play on the cautious side. Boom. Get some salt. Don't be sitting there trying to grind salt in here. You need some salt to pour it loose. There we go. Don't forget, if you're using broth, probably got salt in it. You can always taste it later and add more. Oh yeah. Alright. They're just sizzling. I'm going to assume they're doing pretty good. Yep. Excellent time. Go ahead. Put your onions in. Now earlier, I heated up some water to make this chicken broth. In the event that I need it. Now I'm going to just start off with what's still in this pan. If I can get it in there. Woo! There we go. Careful, it's hot. Okay. Put this in the sink. Get it out of the way. Let's see, 1 teaspoon for 1 cup of water. So I'm just going to eyeball it. There's 1. I have no idea how many cups this is going to end up being, but I'm going to put 5. Okay. I think we're going to need a little bit more water. Now I've got cumin, chicken broth, Santa Fe red chili, and salt. Excuse me if this is loud. Give it a good shake to get all that good stuff out of there. careful. Sometimes when you put hot content, oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. A little salty. But it'll even out once it gets into the pot. Okay. That should do it. The onions are coming along nicely. It's about time for that garlic. Boom, YOLO. And we're gonna put these in there too. I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit so all this cold stuff's gonna bring our balance down. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and start peeling a little bit of this chicken apart. Just to kind of see what we're working with here. It actually cooked almost all the way through. Kind of surprising for such big pieces. Yes, the American woman, slaving away in the kitchen with no one to see her, breathing in the toxic fumes of natural gas. But the aesthetics of an open fire are so pleasing. Hot as balls, I'll tell you that. My dumb ass up in here wearing pants. But ain't no sense in getting your Twitch banned wearing short shorts. Even though you're in Texas and it's 110 degrees outside. Alright, anyways, we're just having a good time cooking some dinner. Now, I chose to use fresh corn. This shit's like 30 cents an ear. Can't beat that, right? But I am not super familiar with cutting fresh corn off a cob. So we'll just do our best. That's all we can ever do, right? All these little filaments. Corn is really a pretty plant. Little jewels. Alright. From what I've heard, you just cut it off. Let's see if we can make that happen. Probably should do this over a bowl. Oh yeah. The inner cob is really rigid, so you can tell if you're cutting too deep. You can eat fresh corn raw. I didn't know that. I had to look that up. You can use frozen or canned. I would rinse the can though, you know. Usually has a bunch of sodium on it that's going to throw off your dish. So hairy. What a mess. That's okay. We're prepared. There ain't a mess in the kitchen. Did you even make anything? This is coming along nicely as well. Onions slightly browned and translucent, the juices coming out. Yes. Very nice. Now I'm going to put black beans in this, but in my experience, you put black beans in a soup too early and your whole soup gets funky colored, so keep that in mind. I bet pintos or something would work in this. Or hominy, that's a good one. That's that white corn. I used to use that a lot, but I haven't used it lately. Maybe I'll do that next time. Ooh. Oh, corn's going everywhere. And the last one. Now I cut the tops off of these because they look nasty, but they do come with some funky tops. So satisfying. Pretty sure that this is corn genitals. I think that's where the pollen comes out, but maybe it's the receiver. Shit, I don't know. I should know. But I don't anymore. Hey, that's a lot easier. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Very good. Okay, let's check and see what's going on in the pot. Yep. Looking good. Most of the juices have cooked down. But they'll be recovered when we put water in there. Pulling the chicken apart some more. Get that process started. Again, if you really want it shredded, I would just you know, either take it out after you cooked it and shred it up in a bowl, or buy a rotisserie chicken. It's cheaper than what I bought, generally, and they're usually like $6 or $7 for a whole damn chicken. It's easy. There's a lot of ways to make this dish way easier and to make it vegan, like I said before. It's very versatile. Fancy, that's pretty easy too. I should have worn my contacts. I'm getting all sweaty and my glasses are slipping down. Okay, get the corn in there, and we're gonna get some water in there, and our soup will be well on its way. Don't worry about the little genitalia, corn genitalia getting in there. Won't harm nothing. It's probably got some, you know, extra protein or something. Now, anytime I'm about to put a bunch of water into a soup dish, I always turn it up. Turn up the fire, turn up the heat, because that water is going to cool it down. Oh, and turn it up just about as high as it'll go. Make sure everything's good and mixed in. Yes. I'm going to just cover everything. Just take a look at it. Just cover it. Got the fire up. See, very yellow. So that red bell pepper really brings out some color in it. We're also going to do, like I said, some tomatoes. But those are going to go in towards the end with the beans. Where did I put my... Ah, here it is. These, I generally don't drain these because they've been sitting in this water and it contributes to the flavor. Damn, I need a new can opener. Boop. You leave that shit on there. Whoops. You leave that shit on there and you're gonna pass your arm across it and cut yourself. Whoops, technical difficulties. Just a lady on her own here in a wild kitchen. I'm gonna go ahead and add this in. Nice. Oh, we have a crying baby. You don't want a bunch of dishes by the time you're done cooking. Clean up as you go along. Now we're gonna have a foray into baby bottle making. Take out the milk, pour it in the bottle. Do what they tell you never to do, and put it in the microwave. By the time they're 3 months old, you were over that double boiler shit. It is hot in here. Alright. See, they tell you not to put it in the microwave because you'll get hot spots, but I figure you just take it out every few seconds and swirl it around. You're fine. So much fear mongering. You need a pot to boil. Put the lid on it. Alright. Here you are, Dad. Whoopsie. Oh yeah. Got some good chunks of chicken, some corn, some bell pepper, onion, garlic. So things start getting really easy here. It's just that prep work that takes a while. I'm gonna chop some green onions. I don't always put green onions, but I figured it'd be a nice bit of color. That's always something to think about. The aesthetics of your dish. It's not just taste. I'm just gonna rough chop this tomato. It's pretty soft, so I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay. I think this has to be refrigerated. So I'm just gonna get an idea of how it's tasting here. And I can already tell you, you're gonna want that rotel. Hell yeah. Shit's good. Chickeny. A little tangy. But not fully rounded yet. You get a whole array of flavor with this dish. Let me get some of this off. it to a boil. Then turn it down and let it simmer. And it's not going to take long at this point. It's a good opportunity to clean up, put things away. Because once you're fat and full, you are not going to want to get out and come back in the kitchen and clean up. Most things just need a rinse. Got our black beans rinsed and ready. Put those in, pretty much last for just a few minutes. I think we'll throw in the green onions with them. I don't think we're going to need any more cumin. I only put 2 tablespoons. Alright, we're boiling. So, just going to turn it down. Now for something like this, I really don't think you need any more than probably 10 minutes at a simmer. And then you just throw in the rest of the ingredients and let it go for another 5 or 10 minutes, and it's ready to serve. $10. You don't want to sleep. He just wants to nap. In your lap. Ooh, I missed a call. Well, if you're not cleaning up your kitchen, it's a good time to bust out some chips and salsa. What the hell is that? Of course, this is tortilla soup, so you're supposed to, eat it with some tortilla chips. Oh, yeah. spicy. New Mexico salsa. Usually we make our own salsa, and maybe we'll do that on here sometime, but this was a gift. It's pretty good. Whew. Spicy though. Don't you raise your eyebrows at me like you just had a success. Well, you know what? For the sake of everybody's time, including mine, I'm just going to go ahead and add this stuff in here. 'Cause I don't really care if the color is off, because I'm not serving guests. Put our beans, green onions, boop. Hatch chilies, and tomatoes. Nice and easy. You can make that in half the time. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Delicious. That's all, folks. Cut up your avocado and your limes. Maybe put some cheese on it if you want. I'm not a big fan of cheese on it. Some cilantro. And some chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, some chips.
Exactly.
You eat that shit, because it's going to be good. Tell you what. If it's too salty, just add more water to it. It's going to be good the next day. What?
Words of wisdom.
Yep. Hell yeah. It's pretty. It's pretty. We're going to look at it again, because it's pretty. Oh yeah. Ooh. Well, goodbye, folks.